What's up, you guys? It's your girl Raven Alexis here, and I am back with another podcast. Yes, welcome to Real Talks, hosted by your girl Raven Alexis with the fam bam right here. We got Miss B, and we got Ash gonna do Miss B, but we got Miss B over here, and we got Ash Tanae.
Hello.
Hey. I know, y'all. It has probably been about 2 months since we actually uploaded a podcast. We filmed one, and then now we back. Okay, we got a whole new setup. You know, we pink and floral, you know what I'm saying, going on out here. So yeah, welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy to be back. It feels so lovely to finally be able to sit down and have a talk with my sister and my mother right here. And you know what? Since we've been gone for 2 months, this topic is get up, sis. You got this. And I basically feel as though that topic to me means, hey, no matter what is going on, no matter how you feel, this pandemic has everybody in a, still to this day, it's almost been a year, and we're still kind of in a like a stagnant type situation. Like nobody want to really just move and stuff like that, because you still like
can't move.
Yeah, you can't move. You can't be around people that much. I mean, I know like over here in the A, the clubs is popping and the church is popping as well, but you can't really like move like you want to move and communicate like you want to communicate with people. And so it still has people like in a stagnant part when it comes to business or just family gatherings or anything like that. And so this is a get up, sis. You got this. It is okay. We can get up and we can go on about our time. Because like I said, we didn't do a podcast for about 2 months. So if you watched the last podcast, my mama had surgery on her mouth. Oh, yeah.
I did.
I think this is the first time you guys are seeing her back. From having surgery. And so she had surgery on her mouth. And then after that, it was kind of like, we was like just, going through the motion, and we was working on other things, doing other things, trying to figure out life for ourselves, trying to figure out what's the next move, what's up, what's down, and go on about that. And so, yeah, we are back with a podcast. Get up, sis. Get up with me, because we both got this. We all got this at the end of the day. And we're going to just talk about that. So, my sister was like, disclaimer, don't throw the mic on me. And so I'm gonna do just that.
No, because every time we get on here, it's like, today our topic is get up, sis, get up with me, because life's been all this for me. And then, so first we're gonna start. Ash, do you want to go ahead and start?
Oh my God, y'all!
Okay.
You know what?
True.
So here we are. Okay, get up, sis.
That's true.
You got this. I had to get up multiple times, if I'm not mistaken. I remember starting businesses or starting these, like the business that I'm doing, and like when the pandemic hit, of course I was in college, and this is my last senior year of college, so I'm in college. I'm like,
your last senior year of college?
No, like what? I'm in my senior year of college, and I'm like, okay, so it's March. I would never forget this moment, because it was March and it was spring break. So me and my sister we went to the same college. Dang, don't go no more. But we went to the same college, and it was spring break. It was the beginning of March, and okay.
All right, y'all. See y'all.
See y'all, girl. See y'all Monday, girl. See y'all next Monday. Like, see y'all. Okay, bye-bye. And then that Thursday during spring break, don't come back. Like, what? And so at that moment, okay, cool. I didn't really mind too much, to be honest with you. Your girl didn't want to go. I didn't like going anyway. So I didn't mind the whole being at home thing or whatever. But for my business, I felt like, dang, I'm missing human interaction. And now that I'm out of college, and it's been going on a year since the pandemic happened, y'all, it has probably, for me, this is some crazy mess, but it has probably been a year for me since having human interactions with multiple people at one time.
I would say your peers.
Yeah, okay, my peers. There we go, my peers. Yeah. So I used to be able to like go to class, and I've met friends in business. I met friends that did so much all around the world, and I'm like, oh, it was so cool. People going off to do different things, just awesome things, and that kept me like ooh, kept me kind of excited for them, but kept me moving at the same time, because I'm like, dang, we're doing this together. Like, you doing it too? Okay, I'm gonna do it. And then the pandemic happened, everything going on, and it's almost been a year, and I'm like, okay, I had to pick myself up. And without that human interaction, keep going on about how I was handling things with my business. And it's been, it's been difficult, because I kind of miss going on campus maybe a little bit and talking to people, getting to know people, knowing what people were doing, talking to people about what I was doing, getting to know them in a sense of networking. But it's also been a learning experience because I've learned how to actually communicate a different way. Still learning to this day, but I'm still learning how to communicate a different way because everything now is so virtual. And so social media has been the way, because like right now with my mom, she doesn't even remember people she went to college with. And she remembers their name, maybe something like that, but you can't even tell me what they got going on, what they doing, how their family doing, and they was probably like people you communicated with. So social media for me has gave us the opportunity to still have that interaction, and that has like helped me out with me getting up and going on about my time, because now I'm able to still have that human interaction with people, communicate with people, market to people.
Right.
Because we did vending at Clark.
We did. We actually were outside vending.
I made money.
Outside vending. Right.
I made some money. I was like, what? This is a thing to sit out here in this cold, or I here in this rain, because it rained. Remember it rained?
Some
sit days, with my son. Sit out here in this rain and sell this stuff under a tent. And it was like, okay, the pandemic happened. Boo, you got to find out how to do something different. So I just want to have a conversation about just getting up. And get up, sis, because you have it. You got it. Don't let it stop you. Because at this moment, it's almost been a year, and I don't know what the future holds as far as doing anything. Because we don't do the vending. Because I'm not going outside and wearing a mask for 8 hours to vend. Right. I just can't do it. And then take my son with me also, like I was able to do 2 years ago. So we're just trying to just figure out different ways to do things. And I'm pretty sure you are too. And so I just feel like all of us got different ways of how we got up to just keep going. So I'm going to let whoever want to talk next go on with their story, and we're going to hear from them.
Well,
go.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and go. But when it first happened, it was like, what you mean? We gotta stay in the house. Like, I got business to tend to, like stuff to do at school, like finish in. Like, think about the people who, you know, had internships or had plans to stay in the area that they went to college in, or, you know, had careers out there getting ready to go to them. And then you realize you got to stay at home, so you're not even there to do your networking like you was supposed to do. Because when you're a senior, it's like after spring break, it's crunch time. You got to handle, like, tie up all the loose ends and get ready to go. But we didn't get that opportunity. Rather, we were, you know, back, and they're trying to figure out how to work computer and technology, which was crazy. Right. And that was just all we did. Finished it. You got your degree, and okay, you're done. All right, we ain't got nothing to do. Me? I was like, well, y'all know I do music, so I love music, everything, but I was also gonna go to graduate school. I was like, I'm gonna go to graduate school and then be a professor afterwards. But this time really gave me the opportunity to realize, like, what I'm here on earth to do and how I can do it without the help of anyone. So it's like I was already put here in this world. Everything I need to do my purpose in this world is in me. I don't need anything external. That's everything true. External can, like, perfect what I'm doing, but at the core, you came here equipped with what you need to do what you need to do. And that's what this pandemic allowed me to sit down and realize.
Figure out,
Yeah, so I didn't waste any money on student loans, doing stuff that I really wasn't gonna like, because government jobs are not for me. So, yeah, and so it was with music. Let's see, it ended in March. I had sang, like, performed my music for the first time, like, twice in February 2020. I was like, okay, we about to get this started.
We about to go
I got, like, you know, some confidence and everything. I was like, I'm finna find these, like, cafes and everything to sing at. And I was just, you know, gonna build a fan base, keep making music and keep going. But then they shut it down. Restaurants closed. Barely even had curbside pickup and stuff at that point.
That's true.
And, like, there was no place to do it. So it was like social media. I'm like, all right, I hate social media. I hate the, you know, the business aspect of social media, having to, you know, keep getting in people's faces. I'm like I'm not into that. That just takes the love and the passion out of it for me.
Right.
So I just sat there, I'm like, what am I going to do? And I was like, well, you know, at some point in between this year, I was like, I'm not going to be singing right now. Like, because I just don't want to go into that battle of trying to, you know, do it. But at some point, I realized that, you know,
What?
I am crying. I am crying. Okay, so Miss B, you go ahead and take it from there. I know we probably wrapping up soon.
She got it. She got it.
Let me remember.
You finished off with.
You know what? At some point, I had to sit down and I was like, okay, it wasn't a breakdown, but it was a sit down and realize like, Ash, all right, you 2021. What are you about to do with your life?
It was a small breakdown. It's
Like,
it
was
it's
probably-
like how you paused right there.
Yeah, it was but it wasn't like no balling breakdown like
hold
on the
up.
floor.
Oh no, it wasn't.
But it was just like, all right, you living at home with your family, you know, that ain't a problem right now, but you can't be here when you're 40. That's a no. Not even when you're 30, but like, what are you about to do? I was like, I'm not going to school to pay loans because like I even looked at I'm like, all right, the job I want, colleges are at a hiring break right now because they don't know what this COVID has going on. So even if I did go and get my degree, I couldn't go be a professor because they're not hiring. So that would just been a waste of my money and my time.
You would have been halfway done by now, or at least
on some kind of
third
fast
quarter.
track to get it.
Yeah.
I would have been almost done. And so I was like, well, that's not it. In music, you know, it takes a lot of, you know, funds to put into music and videos and everything that's needed for it. I was like, well, I don't have the means right now to do that. So it'll be dumb of me trying to go in debt to do that.
Right.
And so I was like, well, what's at the core of it? And that's when I really found like the main essential thing that I do, which is writing.
Right.
Because songwriting is like my favorite part of the music. And that's kind of what I've been doing, more of the writing, you know, books, poems, all kinds of stuff like that. And I have to admit, it's been like freeing to be able to do it because I realized if COVID hadn't happened,
you wouldn't have done it.
I would have been trying to be some professor bored out of my mind.
I'm so happy you realized that because I was like, that's what you really want to be?
I would have went
Monday,
crazy.
Wednesday, at a school, teaching
Like,
college students.
Everybody knows that my limit for government jobs is 2 weeks max. The first week, I'm all happy getting everything like that. By the end of them 2 weeks, like day 13, 14, is dead. Like, I can't even be there no more. I don't want to be there no more. Everything just starts slacking. It's just not for me. That's how I realized it went for me. But I know one thing that's stuck since I've been a child, and it's been writing. And so being able to do that and going to that entrepreneurial venture is kind of, I'm appreciative for it. But
for
yeah.
what happened, that's what made you get up. Just the thought.
Yeah, that kind of realizing the actual core thing that I came to this earth with, that gift that I came to this earth with, you know, is able to be done without the need of, like, COVID-19 has shown me that you really don't need all this extra stuff you say you need. You really don't need the world, you know, to do what you've been done to do, but what you do will impact the world.
Right.
So yeah, that's my piece of what I can remember.
All right, well, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you got a little minute.
I know I really don't have too much to say, other than COVID-19 came in and it paused the world in a sense of not knowing exactly which direction to go in or what ideas or what you thought your whole career, your goals were. It didn't really have that big of an effect on me because I was already home. And so I wasn't in the workforce. The only thing I did was assist with teaching at some of the schools, and I just backed away from that as well. I think my takeaway from the whole COVID-19 thing, it allowed me to be able to sit down with myself and get back to what I enjoy doing, getting back to the root of who I am as an individual. So it stilled my my whole being of life as far as to sit back and say, okay, well, Letitia, what is it that you want to accomplish during this time? You have time right now. Everything's at a standstill. Your kids are at a standstill in a sense because you're not really having to focus on what they're doing or directing them in life, so to speak, when they were in school, because now they're adults, so they can kind of fend for themselves. So for everyone else that were out there and decided, I wanted to do this career, that career, I want to go back into this, go back into that. I did kind of like what Ash and Raven both did, sat back and said, okay, what is it that I want to do in life for the remainder of my life? And so I found a liking and an enjoyment in sewing and fashion designing. And so I started dabbling in it the latter part of 2019 and coming into 2020.
Oh, thank God we did.
Yeah. And coming into 2020,
Jesus.
we were wholesaling it. We were going to Atlanta Apparel, looking at the clothes, looking at them. And those of you that may not know, I used to model, and I was fascinated with design and fascinated with the whole idea of fashion. And so with us going into business together, Raven and I was able to go back into what I really, missed or really enjoyed. And so going to Atlanta Apparel, going through the market and trying to look at the clothes, like, nah, this ain't it. This is not what my vision was. Right. So I started out making garments for my son's mime garments, and I found a liking for that because I was able to create it in my own way and what I wanted the item to look like. So when we started creating our own designs and creating our own clothes, I started liking that idea. And now with the world stopping and things back in March, when the world stopped and things started to not really matter about what the outside world was thinking, it allowed me to focus on exactly what I needed to do in the fashion world as far as being creative and just being able to be myself and be more creative in the aspect of that. And it also allowed me to be a coach to Ash and to my son and also to Raven. So we all kind of blended together, and we're there to aid each other and pushing each other forward into our next goal.
Right.
So I think like really what this pandemic, like, it made you think that life was, at a stop. But really, it just seems like life really began. Mm-hmm, like, we had the opportunity to experience, or we're now in the opportunity to experience true life, what life is supposed to be. I don't know what these folks is doing beforehand, but we were about to go down that same path. That's what I'm telling you. I'm so grateful, because if I went to, all the extra college and career and stuff like that, I would have been miserable with a smile.
And I remember back in like 2000 maybe like 17 when I knew I was gonna graduate, and around this time. And so about 2017 2018 I was like, all right, cool, I am going to go and I'm gonna work for Coca-Cola. Like, I was like, I'm doing a person. I'm the person that creates the commercials for Coca-Cola. Thank you, Jesus, that pandemic hit, and I didn't have to go to Coca-Cola, because I would have been working at Coca-Cola and a podcast would have never happened. Me and my mom started sewing in 2019. Thank you, God, for that too, because at that point, if Atlanta Apparel would have shut down and like they did, we wouldn't have had merchandise. So Ray Cakes would have been flowing like it was flowing last year. The creativeness would have been flowing. And so really and truly, we're just saying with everything is that get up, because there's so much more out there, and now you're able to do so much more. Get up, girl.
It's like get up, because life ain't over yet.
Life ain't over yet. Not over. And we know it's been a year, and people are still in the position of trying to just figure it out. But find your true self during this time of what you like, what you enjoy. Start that, and I promise you, you will never look back.
You won't look back.
And that's all I'm gonna say. And that is our first topic of 2021.
Get up, girl.
Get up, girl. You got this. And also, let me know in the comments what you guys are doing throughout this pandemic that you have found a passion for, or I know some people will be maybe in their 30s or 40s, and then they had kids with the college, and they used to do things when they was maybe like my sister age, and now you're finding love for that again. I would love to hear that down in the comments, because that is so inspiring. That all we needed was the world to stop for a couple months for us to get ourselves back into our true passions. And so, that's it for this first topic on the podcast. And I will see you guys again. I'm not going to say when, but it's going to be very, very soon. Thank you guys for watching or listening, however you're playing this podcast. And I will see you again in the next podcast. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Love you. And we will see you guys again next time. Bye.